Hello. Um, Take three. Hey, I'm depressed. That's not necessarily why it's dark and I'm phoning this in so hard. It's mostly because I'm sitting here with a Coke. You can see the bottom of the can. Wow. And I don't feel like elaborately trying to cover up my nipples. And I didn't want you to just have to stare at the ceiling. So you get to stare at nothing. It's a podcast now. You can even click out of this. Wow. But yeah, I've been feeling kind of shit for a few days. And it's one of those creep up on you feeling kind of shits where you don't realize you're feeling shit. Or you don't realize that you're gradually starting to feel like shit until all of a sudden, oh, I feel like shit. That kind of thing. Um, so by the time it's set in that I was feeling shit, I was beyond doing anything about it. And it doesn't help that something kind of shitty's going on to someone I like. Um, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Because I went on one vague rant and then after that worded it in a way that I didn't like. And so I'm just not even gonna talk about it. So, like, if I'm watching these back a few years from now and I can't remember what I'm talking about here, fucking good. It doesn't deserve to be remembered. Um, and that's it. That's all I'm saying about it. Um, if someone else is watching this near after this and is deadly curious, DM me. Maybe we'll talk about it. But otherwise, fuck the whole thing. At least in my life, in my personal life, I'm detaching myself from it, at least for tonight, you know? Because it's what? 2:30 a.m. 2 hours after I've been getting into bed normally. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. I really don't. And it's, like it wasn't caused by this thing, but like, you're gonna have peaks and valleys. That's fine. I absolutely get that. The whole point of medication was to just kind of level it all out because before the peaks were, well, they were peaks, but the valleys were astronomically deep. And having been able to get that to a reasonable place where the peaks aren't literal months of my existence where I resent said existence, or excuse me, the valleys aren't months of my existence where I resent existing. Um, I can take a shit weekend, you know? I'm a big boy. I can deal with a shit weekend. And again, none of it's even related to me. The first part was just I feel like a natural biorhythm, and then it was exasperated by this thing that happened to someone I don't even know personally, but I care about them because I like what they do. So, to the day, I guess. What did I do today? Fuck all. I played some more Tales of Symphonia. Um, and then I got to a point where I don't really know if I'm going to continue it or not. Just because I lost a lot of progress, but like I could probably sleep on that and that'll be fine. Um, so I spent the rest of the night playing Mario Golf, the GameCube one to be specific. I've just kind of hit one of those miserable slumps where I can't. It's hard to enjoy things, you know. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just totally zone out with something more benign tomorrow, like Risk of Rain 2 or whatever. I was gonna um, hit up a friend of mine that I've been meaning to play Risk of Rain 2 with today, but when I got up, I just didn't feel like I didn't feel like communicating with anybody. I just didn't feel like this is honestly one of the first nights I can say I really didn't want to do this. And it's not because I resent the project, which is good. I was worried that was going to happen early on, honestly. Um, but I am at this point glad that I am at a place with this thing where I don't I don't need it to be successful. I don't even need it to be viewed, honestly. A lot of this stuff can just go out into the void and never be seen by anyone, including myself, ever again. And that's fine. It's made me slightly better at organizing my thoughts. I've just pulled that out of my ass. I don't know if it's done that. But there is a catharsis to talking to a camera at the end of the day. I can see why that works so well for Tom Scott. It's not a replacement for therapy, but it'll do, you know? Because it's not like I'm getting any constructive feedback or outside perspective, but at least I'm saying things out loud, and just that can kind of help to when it comes to letting yourself move on from a subject. You know, there are some things you just feel like you need to talk about, and even if no one ever really hears it, I can just say it out loud, throw it up on my YouTube channel, and maybe or maybe not, it'll get looked at, but I don't care. I've said it, and it exists somewhere else now, and a lot of times that's enough for me to, I guess, make peace. I don't know if I like saying it like that, but it's enough to just let me happily distance myself. It's a way to shut my brain up. It's a way to tell my brain to fuck off. That works. Um, because far too often my brain latches onto something and just basically has a hate boner about not letting me forget it. Um, and honestly, just saying stuff out loud is a good enough way to shut it up sometimes. Like, there are genuinely nights where I say out loud to myself, "Do you want to sleep or not?" Like, stop doing that. Stop. Like, what is the point of thinking about this? And this has kind of, like I said, this has kind of helped with that. Um, and and like I guess like I mentioned earlier, I don't know if I did or not. Like I said, this is the problem with doing several takes and why I usually don't do that. I don't remember if I've said something in this one or not, so I'll probably repeat myself even more often. But like, um, I've already forgotten what I was gonna say. I got distracted by that. It it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oh, it was something along the lines of, again, the main reason, like, as good as it is to talk about things sometimes it's even nicer to not have to. And I think that's one of the reasons I've been non-communicative, or like opted out of putting myself in a communication situation. God, that's a weird way to fucking phrase that, isn't it? I've avoided putting myself in a communication situation. The fuck does that even mean? And it's not that my friend would have brought it up because he doesn't follow the person like I do. Um, but I know me, I would have brought it up. I would have regretted bringing it up. I'd ended up ranting about it for a while. And I didn't want to subject myself or them to that. So I just kind of kept it all to myself. The whole situation's just shit. Everything is shit. All of it. Forever. Anyway, I'm not even making coherent sense anymore. So I'm gonna finish this Coke and I'm gonna lay down. Oh, I actually do have one funny thing. Let's end this on a high note. So I'm trying to get Tales of Vesperia to download on my 360, and that was a fucking effort and a half to just get logged back in. Um, but like, I don't know if it's because it's two consoles old now, and frankly, if that's it, that's fine. Or if it has to do with my specific internet connection, although it's not bad. I do know that not everything necessarily plays well with it. You know, it's like, well, I don't know if this is a good example or not, but like how um, early DS games like just did not jive with certain type of the network had to be specifically set up a specific way for um, the DS to be able to connect to it. So I don't know if it's like just some weird incompatibility that my 360 has with my network, but it's being a pain in the ass about it. And I said all that as a long way to say I keep having to swap back and forth um, between inputs on my TV, and my TV remote is garbage, and it's annoying to get it to work sometimes, especially considering I have two of the same brand TVs in here. So, A, getting the remote to work is a pain, and then B, getting it to work where it doesn't affect both TVs is a pain. But I learned that I have a new thing to be concerned about because several times tonight, when I was swapping between, and I say several, it happened twice. Um, there's this little space heater in my room that has seen very little use, but I've left it in here because it's not needed anywhere else. And it apparently had a remote control at one point. Not that we know where that is, but I know it apparently had a remote control at one point because, like I was saying, multiple times while I was swapping between inputs, somehow, in some way, it interpreted some stray infrared beam to mean power on. Twice. I'm like, no! So, that's fun. And by fun, I mean, Jesus Christ, technology has it out for me sometimes. Oh, I actually had a weird dream last night that didn't make me feel bad all day because, like, it's finally not directly involving my old church. It involved no one that I knew, which was wonderful. I love nonsense dreams. Like I genuinely reflect on this with a mild sense of glee at its absurdity. But like basically, I was walking someone home. Like it was a several hour walk across like a very long distance, um, just so we could hook up. And like at one point, we passed this like water processing plant that I don't remember if I actually had another dream about, but like I think I did. And I say that because I started rattling off facts about this place, and as Dream Me was rattling them off, mildly cognizant actual me was like, I think this is from a dream. I don't know if any of this is true. It was something about like all of the rainwater that gets caught in city systems ending up at this specific plant, which treats it in like an eco-friendly way and then puts it just back into a river somewhere. It was utter nonsense. But at the same time, like I had mild dream memories of maybe visiting this place in another dream, whether intentionally or not. There may have been skateboards involved. I don't know. Sometimes my dreams are extra fucking weird. Anyway, we get back to this chick's house, and it turns out that the whole hookup thing was a long-term ploy to get me to clean her apartment. So I just start doing that because fine. And I get it good and clean. And then these other people just kind of are there. And it's one of those dream transitions that, like, okay, no, they've been here the whole time, but no, they weren't. And then there was, like, a small fire involving the dishwasher getting wet. I know, I know. Dream logic. The dishwasher got wet and caught on fire. Um, and then one of our friends turned into like some sort of murderous vampire creature, or like werewolf creature or whatever. And I accepted that like we'd known about it all along. And we began fighting them. And then halfway through the fight, my brain looped back to the past to try and prevent this person from becoming aggressive. And I never fucking got laid. Even in my dreams, man. Anyhow, I'm gonna go to bed now. I'll catch you all tomorrow.